Eternatus is finally here, and it's bringing every Gigantamax back along with it. So let's get into the details of the Dark Skies event and the Go Fest Max finale. Okay, so getting started on the events, Dark Skies is starting August the 18th at 10 AM and it ends on August the 23rd at 10 AM on the Saturday. For the Dark Skies boosts, the event bonuses are going to be Max Collection Limited will be increased to 1600, there's going to be more power spots active than usual, and they are going to refresh more often. And finally, the daily remote raid limit will be increased to 30. So moving on to the event spawns, it's Grookey, Scorbunny, Sobble, Squovit and Wooloo. It's very much like the Gala release event that we had around September 2024. The starters themselves still aren't shiny. There's been a glitch in day one of this event where some of them have been shiny in the Dynamax raids. However, I think this is an error that they will fix. I think the official release will still be on comms days, but the Squovit and Wooloo shinies are available, so, get grinding. I would also note that the Squovits are very easy to hit excellence on if you need to increase your trainer level. So moving on to raids. For 1-star raids, we have Sinisty. For 3 stars, we have Galarian Farfetch'd and Galarian Weezing. 5-star raids are going to be variable, so on the 18th to the 20th, it's going to be Zacian and Zamazenta. On the 21st will be Zacian, and on the 22nd will be Zamazenta, and then I will cover the raid hours now, which are going to include Crown Zacian on the 21st, and the numbers you're going to be looking for are 2845 or 3556 in cloudy and snowy weather. And then Crown Zamazenta will be on the 22nd, where you'll be looking for 2384 or 2980 in cloudy or snowy weather again. Your best non-mega counters for the two are going to include strong fire types such as Reshiram and Blacephalon. Moving on to the Dynamax battles themselves, they're going to rotate the options daily. So on the 18th, there's going to be Squirtle, Caterpie, Ghastly, Krabby, Shuckle, Sableye, Beldum, Trubbish, Sobble, Hatena, Latias and Latios. And then on the 19th to 20th, we're going to have Charmander, Omanyte, Kabuto, Pidove, Drillbur, Cryogonal, Scorbunny, Rookidee, Toxtricity in its amped form, Toxtricity in its low-key form, Articuno, Zapdos and Moltres. And then appearing on the 21st and 22nd, we're going to have the options of Bulbasaur, Machop, Chansey, Wailmer, Darumaka, Persimmon, Grookey, Squovit, Wooloo, Phalanx, Raikou, Entei and Suicune. So then looking at the passes themselves, so for the Go Pass there is going to be the Eternatus encounter at rank 60, there's going to be Dynamax encounters, Candy and Max Particles. And then the Deluxe Pass is going to have, right at the very beginning, rank 1, it's going to be increased chance of shiny Dynamax. We're going to get the Eternatus Avatar Helmet at rank 60 along with Eternatus. There's going to be additional encounters, additional candy and XL candy, especially for Eternatus. And there's going to be a lot more of the additional Max Particles. And then there's going to be major milestones. So at tier 1, it's going to be increased power for Behemoth Blade and Behemoth Bash, and it's going to be additional particles from power spots. At tier 2, it's going to be even more power for Behemoth Blade and Behemoth Bash, and it's going to have an increased chance of wild encounters near power spots. And then finally, tier 3 is going to be maximum power for Behemoth Blade and Behemoth Bash, and additional rewards from the max Pokemon placed at the power spots. Personally, I don't think that's going to be a huge boost, but it's something. Also, as one final thing on that topic, if you look at the ticket itself, you can see that you are getting a lot of additional particles. Now, if you hold on to those for the weekend, you are going to be able to do, for instance, more Eternatus raids. If you've bought the, like the deluxe version of the ticket, there is an awful lot of particles in there that you can use. So I feel like as long as people are saving up some of the spare ones they're getting, it should be very achievable. Okay, so I've seen a lot made of this, but there's going to be Max Finale daily tasks. you're only going to be able to get 50 points a day from the following tasks, and that's win a 4 or 5 star Dynamax battle, that's going to be 25 points, win a Gigantamax battle, 25 points, win a 5-star raid, 25 points, then it's a lot lower, then it's win a 2 or 3 star Dynamax battle for 15, win a 3-star raid for 15, win a 1-star Dynamax battle for 10, win a 1-star raid for 10. So I've seen a lot of comments about how people are thinking you're not going to get up to Eternatus if you're only going to get 50 points a day. But it's worth bearing in mind it's going to be the same as normal GoFest. Once you get to the weekend, it's going to be unlimited points. And with how many particles you're going to be using on the weekend, I'm assuming they're going to probably raise the limits probably a fair bit to 5k or something like that. You're going to be earning a lot of points. I would imagine most people will be able to earn the rank 60 to get the Eternatus, as long as they're playing to a reasonable level, taking part in the event. So I think as much as some people are concerned, it should be fine. So one of my favourite things in this event is there's a special background, and it's like a purple cloud at the top of your Pokemon screen. I'm a huge fan of it. I would say it's like an S tier background. It's a lot better than many of the other ones that we get. So have fun hunting some of those. I know I'm going to enjoy getting some of those. Eternatus is finally releasing into Pokemon Go. Now you can get it at rank 60 in the Go Pass Deluxe Max Finale. Its Dynamax Cannon Adventure effect is going to increase the level of your Pokemon's max moves, including from the current max of 3 to level 4. However, it has the huge downside that to get its full potential at level 50 plus the level 3 max moves, it's going to cost you 16,900 candy and 9,860 XL, making it Pokemon Go's most expensive Pokemon ever. In terms of Gigantamax options this weekend, as much as you can grind the Eternatus, if you did want to do some of the Gmax battles as well, we have some good options. We have some good meta options. So Lapras is a good tank, and it's going to be the only one that has an ice move currently. We have Cinderace, which is the #1 fire attacker. We have Inteleon, which is the #1 water attacker for now until Urshifu gets better. We have Rillaboom, which is the #1 grass attacker. And we have Gengar, which is the #1 ghost attacker. I think it's the only one that will have a ghost move, at least for now. So all of those are meta options if you've missed out on them in the past, or you want to try and get a good one. I would say my advice would still be to mostly focus on Eternatus, but these are options you can chase anyway. Okay, so on to some final tips. My first tip would be to look for meetups ahead of time, especially on Campfire. The community ambassador meetups will feature timed research and are more likely to draw enough numbers for you to group up to win the raids and the Gigantamax raids that you need to do, especially if you're playing rurally. Secondly, we know that every single Gigantamax that's been released to date will return this weekend. I would say that while some people may argue you should only go for the meta options, I would disagree. For players that have missed some of the previous Gigantamax, like my own community where we missed the first 3 to 5 due to not having the strength to beat them at that point, I would say maybe fill in your gaps first in your decks. After that, I would say put your remaining effort into the Eternatus raids and try and get the maximum candy and candy XL that you can without breaking the bank. The Gigantamax are more likely to return in further rotations than Eternatus is. I would be shocked if we see Eternatus in raids again before next year's GoFest, at the earliest I would have thought. I can't see a shiny form coming out for 2 to 3 years personally. We're only going to get one by the looks of it until a shiny comes out. On the flip side, I would say that the Gigantamax are far more likely to return in further rotations. Probably, I would say you're going to wait less than half a year to get a repeat of the same Gigantamax. There's not a huge amount of Gigantamax they can rotate between. So I would personally say to get the ones you need that you haven't had, then just grind the Eternatus raids to try and get as much of the way through powering it to max as you can. Don't go past your limits, but within reason go for that. But then overall, at the end of the day, the game is for fun. So if you want to raid a particular Pokemon because it's your favorite, or you want a particular hundo more than anything else, just feel free to do whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's whatever makes you happy. You don't have to conform with what everyone else says to do. So overall, as much as this event is catered towards, I would say, people that bought the deluxe ticket, just have some fun. It's at the end of the day, it's an additional event that's been added on to the end of GoFest, so just enjoy it. Okay, so I think that covers it with this event, or the 2 events, I guess, technically. I will be back with more videos on other content, that's for certain. I've got loads more ideas. I may go into why I'm kind of struggling to upload at the moment in a separate video, but that's something for another day. So the main thing is enjoy the GoFest Max finale. Feel free to comment anything sick you get on the day. I would be very interested to see what people get. And yeah, have a nice time, guys, and peace.